Hi there guys and welcome to another Blowdom episode. So once again I'm joined here by Johan, and if you're wondering why he's got sunglasses on, you need to watch a little bit further. This is our Monday morning's episode, but today it's actually Tuesday. Yesterday we had a little bit of a hectic schedule, so we couldn't get to our episode yesterday morning. But we're doing our episode today. We're going to be talking about today's episode. We're going to be talking about fishing that happened last weekend. And then we're discussing a little bit of the weather, what winds is at the moment, what winds are blowing, what's happening to the ocean. And then also we're going to dive into a little bit of sunglasses, because I think that's actually a very underrated part of your equipment, that not a lot of people actually understand how important a proper pair of sunglasses, not just for the protection of your eyes, but there's a couple of technical stuff that we're going to go into. Sunglasses, and you get sunglasses and you get sunglasses. So that's going to be happening a little bit later, so that's why one was flashing off the sunglasses. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, we do this every single week. We look at the past fish that was caught, and then we dive a little bit into what type of fishing you can do this week. And then we're also looking at, we're always having a little bit of a tackle talk, or some talk of what fish to target, and then we look at some kind of technical details that we can give you on tackle or bait or stuff like that. So firstly, in last week's episode, a little bit of a mixed bag, Johan. Some anglers, it was a couple of angling stories actually. Some anglers say they didn't catch anything, yes, and then others were smashing the fish. So a little bit of a mixed bag in last week's report. We know Dirkie Snyman, he was catching some proper galjoen. I'll put some of the photos up, but yeah, he was getting some really nice fish, and then a lot of other anglers that went for galjoen blank.
And then there was a cracker also coming out.
There was a cracker that also came out.
Was like crackers.
It
was like a cracker smash.
Yeah. Where was that?
It was, if I'm correct, at the Gouritz area.
Gouritz area.
Yeah. And everyone around in the areas around it, it's where nothing happened.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. A little bit of a mixed bag. Looks like if you found that little honey hole, it really produced nice fish.
You hit the jackpot.
And that sometimes is because you find that little warm pocket of water. When we're spearfishing, we sometimes see that a lot, where it's cold, there's thermocline, it's cold water, and then you just find that little bit of a bay where it's holding a hot pocket of fish. And then sometimes the fish are all stuck in that little bit of a hot pocket where just that 1 or 2 degrees water temperature change in the water can make a huge difference in where that fish is holding for that specific time. So that's also important, that when you're fishing and you're not getting any bites, move. Keep on moving, especially when you're scratching. Don't sit on one spot the whole day. Move until you find a better spot.
And especially in this time of year. We are moving now from winter fishing over to more summer fishing. So it's in the middle where you can catch both. But because the angler is not always sure what he's going to bite for the day, he usually sometimes make the wrong decision for the day. There's cob in the water, there's maybe a steenie, a cracker or whatever, and he's not throwing for that particular fish for that day.
So that's actually why I was saying that bait selection this time of year is very important. You have to target a variety of species. You can't go just for one species. You can't just have one bait in your bag. You have to have a little bit more of a variety of baits in your bag.
That is why scratching is also a good idea for this time of year.
You mentioned cob there. So I heard about a couple of cob, not very big ones, but I heard of a couple of cob also coming out.
And it's not full up.
No, it's not at all.
It's actually still on the slow moving area, but there is a cob here and there coming out there.
We did the cob episode the last time about drop shotting and artificial lures, so that's definitely something that you can get ready. The cob is starting to show. And then a lot of the guys keep on talking about specific winds. So in our area, when we're looking at spearfishing, the southeast makes the fleece, the ocean makes the sea flat, but it also colds it, that brings the colder water. The southeast, southwest pick up, make it clean, and warmer water starts coming in. So I heard a couple of guys talking about you need 2 days of southeast when you want to go and target cob in our area. Is that something?
There's a couple of recipes the guys usually look at winds. Winds are actually more important than most guys think.
Yeah, I know. It's very important for us as from a spearfishing side. The wind is very, very important because we need a couple, like 2-3 proper days of southwest, strong southwest, to clean up the water, bring in the warmer water, and then we need 1 day southeast just to flatten it out again because we can't go in big swells, we can't launch the boat, we can't get close enough to the shore. So from a fishing point of view, I know a lot of the guys like the southeast. To bring in that little bit of a colder water, brings in more food. So it's very interesting. In the comment section, leave a comment of what do you reckon in your area, what the best winds are for the best type of fishing. I know that the Witstrand guys, they've got a little bit of a, I'll have to check up on that. There's a book, Gooi Los, there's a Witstrand book, Gooi Los, and they've got this, when the wind blows east, the fish bite least. When the wind blows west, the fish bites best. I know they've got a little bit of a rhyme on the Brede River of which wind you need.
I also had a friend, he's also got a saying, but we laugh because of the, he says you must say it in the proper Afrikaans English time. If the south wind blows, the fish's mouth close.
and that is true about the south. One day I was lying on Gourit, and it was the south east that was blowing, and we were smashing the cob after cob, those nice 10 to 12 kilogram fish. Wind turned south, light switch off, gone, nothing. All of a sudden, and it's difficult to believe that because you're fishing at 30-35 meters of water. So how does a wind change from a southeast to a south? How does that change the behavior of the fish 35 meters down? It's weird, but it is true. It is exactly what happens. So then bad news, there was a couple of trawlers around. So on the deep sea front, the hake, the stockfish gone. So the guys that's been trying for stockfish, there was a couple of good reports from the Knysna side, Buffalo side, that the guys were catching a couple of nice hakes. But unfortunately, with those trawlers going past, the hake is gone. There was a couple of reports, and that's why I'm saying it's a little bit of a mixed bag. But there was a couple of reports of nice cob coming out on the deep sea, your summer cob, the little bit longer, bigger cob. But then all of a sudden, the water temperature changed, and the guys said that the water went down to 12-13 degrees. Tried for hake, and then obviously with the trawlers coming by now, hake as well. So that's what I'm saying. It was a weird week. In fishing wise, it was some guys were smashing the fish and others were blanking. Looking at this week, Johan, we are on neap tide, so that also makes a difference in your fishing. Some guys like fishing a little bit or more neap tide, and others prefer the spring tide. But going weekend is building up into the spring tide. Today you're looking at a 1.8 to 2.4 surf. Then tomorrow it's picking up, and it is the southwest that's going to be blowing, and that's picking up. Tomorrow is freezing cold. It's a maximum of 10-11 degrees tomorrow, and then it starts dropping again into the weekend. Saturday 0.6 to 1.1. So that's going to be a nice if you, I think there's a little bit of wind blowing, but it's going to be a nice time Saturday if the water is that calm. Maybe for steenie if the water is cold, on the flat seas, maybe a steenie, or you can try for cob. Chuck a lure, chuck in a drop shot there on that when it's nice and low, and it's coming up to spring tide. It's building up to spring tide as well. So I think that's going to be your main target species coming over the weekend. This week with the big seas, still a good idea to go and target the galjoen when the wind turns through the southeast. Over the weekend, maybe a good idea to go and target a steenie or a cob. Okay, enough of that. Let's start with the sunglasses. So this is something that I like to use, especially when I'm doing estuary fishing. There's a couple of reasons in the estuaries why I want a polarized sunglass, not just to protect my eyes, but if I'm driving on my boat, whether it's Knysna, Witstrand, Gourit, any place, the sandbanks are always shifting. And you're not always 100% sure of where those sandbanks are. So the first thing that's very important for me when I'm using a polarized sunglass, it allows me to see those sandbanks clearly. So I don't drive onto a sandbank. The second thing that I really enjoy when I'm using a quality polarized sunglass is when I'm throwing a cast net for mullets. It just makes a huge difference. You can see those mullets. It just breaks that glare of the water. And yesterday we had a discussion in the shop about exactly that, and I asked, well, how does it help the guys in the surf? And you said, well, exactly the same.
Yeah.
It just allows you to see when you're casting in the surf, when you're throwing your cast net,
Yeah.
when you want to see the banks, when you want to see the color change in the water. It just allows you to see that little bit of extra. But Johan's going to explain a little bit more because, like I said at the beginning of the episode, you've got sunglasses and you've got sunglasses, and there's actually a huge difference why you can get away or why you can buy. I'm not going to call it a cheap one.
We can.
Affordable. Let's call it an affordable one.
Much better.
Affordable one, and then you get your expensive ones.
Also, depending on who you are.
Yeah, depending on who you're saying affordable,
Yeah.
but then you get your proper ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys who wanna
So
save.
Johan's gonna run us through the range of sunglasses that they stock.
Yeah. So we mainly got like I think 5 different makes of sunglasses in the shop. Usually starts by the affordable ones, your Raptors, $199. Your Fins, also $189. So you've got another Raptor there.
This is the Bondi Blue.
Is that the one?
This is the Bondi Blue. It looks like the Raptor, but it's the Bondi Blue.
That's the thing about these affordable ones. They all look closely the same.
And they probably come out of the same factory as well.
Yeah, we don't actually have to say that. Yeah, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. We would never know. There's actually a big politics in the sunglass hut, if you want to call it that. That everyone's glasses are better than the next one.
Oh, obviously.
But in affordable range, it's usually a plastic frame, plastic lens as well, and then you get them in the different color lenses: blue lenses, black lenses, green, usually in the amber, that is a brownish one. So it all goes on to how clearly you want to see. So your amber, usually brownish color, brighter. Black more darker, and then blue. They've actually got a thing on the color of the lens: the blue lens, the green lens. Every time I forget actually what the difference is. Somebody in the comments will maybe tell us.
Let's tell us in the comment section why there's amber and there's blue and there's
why
black.
you prefer.
Why you prefer that?
Yes.
Okay.
And then you get the bit more expensive affordable sunglasses.
So these range between $199, and you mentioned something about the Raptors that's on special at the moment.
So we're gonna run a special on the Raptors for the week. They're $199. We're gonna push them down to 150 Rand a pair. So this is the pair you keep in your car, your wife's car, your house. Maybe one for the church, maybe one for the sea.
And a way to look at these are basically like a disposable.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to last long. Once they start getting these scratches and sometimes they start loosening up. The polarized starts loosening up on the edges as well. Not your Raptors, all the more affordable ones.
Yeah. Another important thing on these, now that you mentioned the scratches, be very careful what you clean your sunglasses with, especially on the cheaper ones. Some alcohols and some of the sunglass cleaning stuff you get in the shops, that they sound great on the shelf, but when you use it on your sunglasses, it just takes that top coat away, and then your sunglasses really, you can just chuck them.
Yes.
So be careful. All I do, lukewarm water, not warm. Luke to cold, to wash them down, shake them off, and then make sure your cloth is clean, that you're gonna wipe them
Don't take
off.
your shirt like fisherman's doesn't, just like
sand and whatever was grabbed into your shirt or whatever, it's gonna scratch this lens. So just wash them down. That's all you
just
have to.
a rinse.
Just a rinse.
Okay.
Same on these. So usually where your glasses become more expensive, they've got glass lenses in. So you would see on your Costas, it's got a 580G. Usually means there's a 580 something, it went through glass.
Okay.
It's a 580 tempered glass. Same with your Macos. It does say it's a glass lens. There's a lot of technical things going into the two
more expensive
ones. Like for instance, we all know the Costa. The lens isn't bent to fit into the frame. It's actually cut to fit into the frame. So what happens there is usually they work on a Y and an X thing for your lenses. So with the Costas, it stays straight. Where when it's bent into a frame, it bends with the frame. So that Y and X also bends.
Okay.
And that changes the perspective on how you see things when you look through it.
Okay.
Yeah. So for instance, a Costa, we've had guys that had headaches or difficulty seeing how far certain things are. It's because that X and Y is straight.
Okay.
So it is actually, I won't say fixing your eyes, it's pulling your eyes a bit. It's like, I think the guys that are wearing prescription glasses will understand this one. Like when you wear a prescription pair of glasses for the first time, it feels like something is pulling your eye the whole time.
It takes a little bit to get used to.
Yeah, so it is actually strengthening your eye to
Okay.
look through that lens. It's the same with the Costa or the Macca.
Okay.
What I go for when I look at sunglasses, I love my
No, it must look stylish first.
stylish first, but the most important thing for me is it must sit comfortable on my
Yes.
face. If I look stylish with the thing and it irritates me by you get some of the sunglasses, it sits skews on your skin
Yeah,
on your head.
I agree.
I don't care how cool I look. I'm not gonna wear that stuff. So nice and comfortable. You have to be able to wear this. Remember when driving or on the beach, you're wearing this thing plus minus
Yep.
7 to 8 hours a day.
If it's not comfortable, it's going to give you headaches in any case.
Yeah. My personal choice is a Costa. I love how it feels
No.
on my head.
But you said when you first got your Costa, it took you a couple of days just to get used to your eyes, just to get used to the.
Yeah, it did.
And now you're so used to it, you can't live without it.
That's the big problem. Also,
Yeah.
I won't call it a problem. It's actually a good thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Price range, Johan, for we keep on talking about the more expensive sunglasses. So,
Yeah.
is it like a one price for the Costas and a one price for the makers, or do they also come in different levels of prices?
Macca is usually one price. I think these go for around 3,299. Mine varies. It is about 2,999 still. Costa's got two different price ranges on them. 2,999 and 2,499. So
Okay.
there is two different frames on the
Okay.
Costas. The one is recycled fishing net.
No,
Frame?
that's awesome.
Yeah, it is quite awesome. I almost think that this one, yes.
Is
Made-
that from a recycled fishing net?
Yes.
That's
so,
amazing.
So this frame is made from recycled fishing net.
And it looks really nice.
It does. It is a nice pair. So yeah, we are well stocked on the Costas,
Yes.
and we've got some new ones coming in as well.
Mm.
And then I know another thing when guys come in here and they ask sunglasses, and I go, but why don't you buy yourself a Costa? I go, it's expensive. Look how I go through sunglasses. Now the main thing on these are the lens. It can scratch. I don't want to say it can't scratch, because now I say it can't scratch. This guy's gonna take a knife, go but I'm not very. I don't look after my sunglasses.
You're rough on them.
I'm quite rough on them. I checked over the weekend. My sunglasses were laying in next on a cupboard. The next thing I said was in the bathroom. So one of my children took it. And to tell you the truth, mine doesn't have scratches on it.
Okay. So that it pays to
Yeah.
have a proper
It
sunglass.
pays. This is glass. It will crack, but I have mine have fell to the ground a lot of times.
And
but,
nothing yet.
But with that also said, you can have someone buy this. It falls 20 to 200 times in his lifetime. It doesn't crack or scratch. Then you get another sunglass. I don't want to pick that one up, otherwise those guys are going to be angry. You pick this one up, it falls a different way, and boof, it's cracked.
It's like a cell phone.
Yeah.
A cell phone can fall 50 times. If you just fall on the wrong spot, then it will crack.
It's
exactly the same.
So yeah, that's about that for sunglasses.
Okay, guys. So yeah, a little bit of just on sunglasses. If you're looking to buy a pair of sunglasses, these affordable ones. If you just wanna use it for estuaries and boat driving, or if you just wanna use it for casting, and then you've got some really nice ones that you can use for your everyday use. Drive with them and do everything with them.
Yeah.
So thank you, Juan, and subscribe, guys. We do this every week. We've got a little bit of an update. We talk about something new or something exciting that's happening. in the next episode, we're going to try and get Dirkie Snyman here. And Dirkie's got a lot of very, very interesting stuff on galjoen, conservation of galjoen. It's becoming the time of the year where they're actually spawning. So he's going to talk us through what length of fish, when they do the sex change, when they start spawning, what type of fish to put back. He's very much into conservation. He's a very accomplished galjoen angler, so watch out for that episode. And leave a comment, where were you fishing this week, what catches did you get, what bait did you use, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers.